Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Now, some months ago, about the middle of last year, I put out a post saying that bad parenting is the reason why Jamaica is in the current state that it is in. And I said that if good parents were sending out good children into the society, this country would not be where it is. And our main cause of all the problems we are having, I lay it right at the feet of the parents. Now, I did not compromise with what I said, and I stood by it, but there has been some pushback. There has been a number of persons who contacted me to say I was wrong for saying that because I can't broad brush everybody like that because there are parents who have tried their best and the children just have their own way, and when a child decides to have their own way, there is nothing that parents can do, and therefore it is unfair to parents to say that parents are the cause because kids will follow bad company and all of that, and if kids want to do what they want to do, there's nothing a parent can do to stop it. And I say that's a pile of bull manure. I'm not saying there might not be the exceptional case where that story can hold up, because there, of course, somewhere there is a shark that eats vegetables. We might not have found it yet, but we have to assume that one is somewhere out there. But anyway, the reason why I stood by this, although I knew it before I even did a case study, but I'm going to tell you about a social experiment that was done back in 2004. So you can say that was 19 years ago. This study was done, and this study was done in collaboration with a number of organizations. Heart NTA, the Jamaica German Automotive School, that's JAGAS, the Caribbean Policy Research Institute, that's up at the UWI, so that's CAPRI, and the Ministry of Education. Now, what happened is that there were some kids who were giving some issues in school. And these kids, we have them from age 11 up to 17. I think some go up to 18, I'm not sure, but I know we had from 11 to at least 17. And these children were taken from the corporate area, that's Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, some as far as St. Thomas and St. Mary. So in all, we had 90 kids. And this experiment was done over 2 days. For the first day, we had in 45 parents and their kids. And the other day, the following day, we had in another 40, the second batch of 45, along with their parents. So it's children and parents together on the same day. The way the test was set up, it was set up in the form of a seminar where the parents were supposed to come in to learn how to get tips and guidelines on better parenting. So it also was to teach students how to relate better to their peers and to the school staff, and overall to develop better social skills, including conflict resolution. However, there was another element to the activities for those days, because unknown to the visiting participants, which are the parents and children, there was another aspect to the day's activities. We were going to examine the correlation between the social and behavioral standards of the children vis-a-vis that of their parents. Now, here is how the test was done. Upon entering, we started like 8:30 in the morning, and the parents would come in with their children. Once they enter, the parents were separated from the child. The parents were given a name tag with their name on top and their child or children's name underneath. And the children who goes on the other side, they would get a name tag also with their name, the student name on top, and their parents' name below. So we would be able to know who is who. And they were supposed to wear that tag clearly and conspicuously on their chest for the entire day. The settings in both halls were the same. There was a reception area where all inquiries could be made, and upon entering the room, each student on one side and each parents on the other side, each was handed a brochure, by an assistant standing at the door. The brochure explained the planned activities of the day, but what was not had been said was that there would have been some behind the scenes study. Of course, this study would have to be clandestinely done because we wanted their natural, normal, and instinctive behaviors to be on display. Because this was vital if the finding was to have any meaning. Some of the things we checked for was their interaction with the receptionist at the clearly marked reception desk and how they approached her, Each of the two group. And when they started, when they go in, we had magazine racks. So, and we went to Novelty Corporation, Novelty, I don't remember that place, down on Hanover Street. This was the place that brought in all the magazines and books and novels that came into Jamaica. Went there and we got a pile of magazines. We got Time Magazine, Newsweek, Reader's Digest, Good Housekeeping, Vogue, Ebony, Jet, Cosmopolitan. We even got some comic books. Because what we wanted was to see how all the participants responded to books, printed material. Luckily, we didn't have to ask them to turn off cell phones because in those days, it was just bangers running the place. And nobody had internet on their phones because it was still 56K dial-up modem most of us had in our houses. So we didn't have to do that. So they had enough opportunity to either mix because we wanted to ensure that they had nothing to do for the first 45 minutes or so, but to eat their snacks, mix and mingle, and hopefully read. Out of the 90 student-parents combination, only 7 parent-child combination got full marks. Right, can you believe it? Out of 90 individual group of parent-students, only 7 parents and their students had the what we call basic social skills. These are the parents who had excellent manners, etiquette, principle, dignity, and whose social skills were on par with the best in the world, and so were their children. And among the ones who failed, the parent-children combination who failed, overall, the parents did marginally better than their children. Because about 22 failed overall, but of those failures, 22 had the parents doing better than in terms of manners, principles, etiquette, social skills. They did better than the corresponding child that they were growing up. But the vast majority of parents performed as dismal, as dirty and nasty and chaka as them parents. So put it another way. Only 7 parents among and their related children had said good morning when entering the premises, had said thanks for the brochure and for the snacks, and when given lunch. Only those 7 had actually read the brochure that was handed to them, the one that explained the day's activities. Only 7 of them went to the magazine rack and chose books or chose something to read, actually look through. Only those 7 sat decently in their chairs, binned their rubbish, or knew how to use knives and forks. And talking about the binning of the rubbish, some of these parents, all of the parents and them pitney, virtually all, left the snacks and the bottles, soft drink bottles that they drank from, right beside their chair. Some just throw it down on the scene when they were leaving, going to do any other activity. Some leave it on windowsill, and just a few put it in the bin. About what? About 20, 20, 20 in all, roughly 20 in all, including those 7 good decent parents who actually went to the bin and put their rubbish in the bin. You understand me? So, when people are going to tell me that parents, the behavior of parents does not affect the behavior of the child, think again. This social experiment was officially done by the Ministry of Education, Heart, NTA, Caribbean Policy Research Institute, and it is known. So, but here's the truth: there is no way that a parent can teach a child something that it does not have. If you cannot use knife and fork, how can you teach your child to use it when you don't know it? If you don't know proper manners, if you don't say good morning to your child, how can your child know to say good morning to you or to say good morning to anybody? If you don't say thank you when you're taking anything from your child and insist that your child say thank you when you hand them anything, then what? You expect that child to come now and go out there in the world and be a good, a well-rounded person? And you're going to tell me that is not your behavior which makes the child what he is? And I tell you this: if you have a child which is brought up inside a home and that child was taught growing up, and that child had been taught to respect the elders in the house, and respecting the elders in the house, they could not say anything around adults. Every adult in the child in the home had to be respected and to be revered. You see, when that child go to school, that child is going to convey that same principles and etiquette and manners and dignity to the teachers and to every adult, even the janitor and the person who sweep the school corridors. That is how children behave. Whatever you say a child behave, when they go on the street, they learn that at home. And who they learn it from? Who they live with in the house, whether that parent or guardian. And I don't want anybody to tell me that outside influence in the community can influence. How can anybody in around you, your child sleep in your house, your child gets its food from you, you have first choice to teach your child how it should grow, and you going to tell me, say, you allow somebody else to drag up your child and you say it's not your fault? Your child lives with you, your child take instructions from you. So there is the argument. That argument is totally thrown out, full stop. And it's only careless parents who are irresponsible. Careless parents who are irresponsible, who cannot take responsibility for their own actions, because they themselves are children themselves. They are the ones who will tell you that no, children have their own mind, because these are a child who is bringing up another child. So I rest my case. The facts are out. The study has been done and cannot be undone. Well, frankly, I don't know what Ministry of Education has done with that study. But if that was to come and be presented, we can tell that nothing has changed. And same Krasmite parents still are bring up Krasmite picnic. And something needs to be done in the social fabric of this society where we start teaching parents how to do good parenting, and that will help to stem the level of Krasmitism that exists in this country today. Thank you for listening. Like, share, leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.